Wednesday, Apple announced the new iPad, which is actually just an upgraded version of the iPad 2. But the new iPad has a few features that are kind of cool. First of it being a Retina display, and it also has a new and improved camera. It's a 5 megapixel camera, and it's also the first iPad to offer 4G LTE speeds. Which is good if you're in an area that actually has 4G. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started and review the first of this, which is the Retina display. There we go. Alrighty. Yeah, the new Retina display actually is supposed to have better graphics than the iPad 2. In basically, if you're reading text, which here's actually an example, so I'll show you guys. Like if you move the it here, you can see kind of the difference between the two of them, which on the iPad 2 the text on it is actually not as crisp as the iPad the new iPad, not the iPad 3. But I must say I'm kind of impressed by the new Retina display, but not as much as I would. I mean, I read books a lot on my iPad 2, and I have to say that the text on the iPad 2 isn't actually as bad as people make it out to be. Now, another thing that's kind of cool is that you can actually record video in HD with 1080p, but also it has 2048 by 1536 pixels in it, which is actually more than the iPad 2 has in it. So basically videos and movies and pictures and stuff are actually going to be more crisp on the new iPad than in the iPad 2. For me, I'm not quite as actually like happy about that, but as I am as some other people may be, because I'm not really a big photo and video person. I mean, per se, I record on my phones actually with my videos, but the Retina display, like I said, it doesn't actually do anything for me, but that's games on it actually is actually perfect for it, because that's the new thing. And with the iPad 2, it comes with a new A5X chip, which is actually not faster than the iPad 2, but it actually has a quad-core graphics chip in it. So basically, video games are going to be more. You can go more detailed in them than with the iPad 2. So I think that's kind of cool. But one thing that you're probably thinking with it is, okay, would have a quad core graphics chip, so it wouldn't drain a lot of battery. But actually, with the new iPad, they've actually fixed that. You get the same amount of battery life as you would the iPad 2. So you're not losing any battery life with the new graphics. So compared to the Pixels and the new Retina display, I think that is amazing. The fact that you don't lose any battery life. So that for me is one good point about it. But the camera part of it is kind of interesting, because it has a 5 megapixel camera, which is kind of the same as what they have on the iPhone 4S. They added another lens into it, so your picture's actually going to look amazing on your iPad 2. But they fixed it with the new iOS 5.1 update. So when you take a picture on your iPad, as you saw up here on the picture, over here on the right, the camera button is there, so it makes it easier to take a photo with the iPad. But once again, for me, it's not a big selling point, because I'm not a big picture person. But for those of you that are, that's kind of cool, because I mean, 5 megapixel camera on an iPad is really interesting. But the lenses, like I said, they added an extra lens just like on the iPhone 4S. So your pictures are going to come out a lot better than on the iPad 2 and the iPhone 4. So I think that's, like I said, it's a good feature that with the new iPad, all things aside, I do think they did a pretty good job with it, with the new camera. Like I said, I'm not really sold on the camera, because like I said, I'm not a big photo person myself. But for those of you that are, I can see why that would be a major selling point for you. So now the next thing that I'm going to talk about here is the 4G LTE speeds that the new iPad is going to be supporting. where I'm at, I live in Louisiana, actually lower Louisiana, so we don't actually have 4G yet. We still only have 3G. So 4G has never came to us yet. So 4G LTE isn't as big of a selling point as many people like that live in an area that has it would be for me. I'm not too sold on the 4G LTE because I don't actually have access to it. So for me, like I said, once again, it's not a big selling point for it. And from what I've seen with the pictures of it, I don't think the new iPad is any thinner than the iPad 2. I could be wrong, but like I said, it's not out yet. It isn't due to come out until March 17th, from what I had read. So I don't know how small it is, but it does run the new iOS 5.1 on it. So like I said, a lot of the features that you do now, this is something that I think is amazing on the new iPad, which I haven't had a chance to actually check it out, but I don't think it's available on the iPad 2, is text or voice command texting, or dictation as they say here on the screen, is that you can actually talk to text on your iPad, which is actually an amazing feature. Because for me, I do use my iPad for like my personal computer, so to be able to dictate to my iPad what I want to do is interesting. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to check it out, but I don't think it's available. Let me pull up it to see. Yeah, no, as you can see on my iPad 2, it's not available yet, and I'm running iOS 5.1 on my iPad 2. So that, I wish that would have actually came bundled with the new iOS in the iPad 2, but hey, what can you do? Now, a few apps have gotten actually an upgrade with the new iPad, but it's more or less with the iOS actually. So like apps like GarageBand, they added the feature that you can actually use strings in it, which is kind of cool. But they added in iPhoto on the iPad in the App Store. It runs for $4.99, but basically it's kind of like PhotoStream on it. It's basically a Photoshop app for your iPad. So you can take a picture, you can crop it, and do everything you need to do with it, which gives you more features than some other ones that I've seen. So it's kind of interesting. Now they added iMovie actually got another update with the new iOS, so it's more detailed to fit for the Retina display. Haven't actually had a chance to use it out, but I'm actually gonna use it on this video. So maybe in a future video I'll tell you guys how it worked out. Now on the website it actually talks about the smart cover, but I run one of mine, and I gotta say it's amazing because you can flip it over and it locks the screen and it wakes it up, which I'm kind of cool about that because you don't actually have to use the home button to wake it up. So it's pretty cool. Now they also added in, you can AirPlay in HD TV on an HD TV, and it'll shoot in HD, which, as you can see from the picture here, that Captain America which by the way is a good movie, shows up in HD, and you can do that on your iPad, which I think you could do that on the iPad too, from what I've seen. I don't actually have an an Apple TV or a TV that can actually do AirPlay, so I've never actually had a chance to run it. I usually, when I want to stream video through my TV, I have to manually plug it up with a connector that I bought at Walmart. So I never actually got a chance to use AirPlay. So kind of interested about that. Now and then it goes on the website, but like I said, I wanted to talk to you guys about that just to show you what it is. Now the pricing for it, which let me pull it up here. The price of the new iPad is actually not going to be more expensive than the iPad 2. The iPad 2 is actually going to get a price drop. It's going to go down to $399 for the 16 gigabyte model, and goes up a little bit more. But the new iPad is going to start off at $499 for 16 gigabyte, which is actually what the iPad 2 is running right now. So once the new iPad comes out, you can get the new one for the same price as the iPad 2. So I think that's kind of neat. And I always like that about about Apple is that they give you new products, but they never increase the price. But the bad part is they don't ever decrease the price of the new products. Now the older ones get a downgrade, but why would you want to buy an older product if you can get a new one? Now, probably some of you may be wondering, well, you're doing a video review of it before it comes out? Are you going to be actually getting the new iPad? And I'm actually not going to be getting the new iPad because I just bought my iPad 2 on my birthday, February 24th, and I'm pretty pleased with my iPad 2. The Retina display, like I said, it's not a big selling feature for me. And the camera, like I said, the camera either isn't a big selling feature. The only thing that I like, there's a few things that I do like about it. The Retina display, like I said, it has its ups and its downs for me. But like I said, I'm content with my iPad 2. I don't see a need for me to jump up to the new iPad. I mean, because basically the only thing I'm getting would be getting is a Retina display and a camera. Which, like I said, I'm not a photo person, so it's not a big selling point for me. But for those of you, and I was actually wrong about the date. Actually, it's March 16th when it comes out. But like I said, I just wanted to do a review of it for you guys, so that way you guys can tell me what you think. And just in the comments below, just leave a comment about it, and hit the like button so that way you can see more videos about it. But like I said, once you guys, tell me what you think about the new iPad. Like I said, leave it in the comment below. But yeah, so I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.